Hey guys, it's Gary Wong with GaryWongRealty.com again. People know me as the Christian Realtor. I'm also the author of the book on Vancouver real estate. And today, another episode of Position Date Horror Stories. Horror! And today, I'd like to share another story of my client. We helped them buy a place in a really nice luxury mansion in Surrey. And the place was beautiful, immaculate. We went through a home inspection. And a whole bunch of things were noted, but there were minor issues. But since it was about 6,000 square feet, the inspection took almost 6 hours. A lot of minor touch-ups here and there. And we drafted up a home inspection deficiency list. So there were a couple things, that's why I'm holding a laptop right now. I'm just reading over some of the items on the home inspection deficiency list. The inspector noted that there was debris in the gutters and that they needed that cleaned. The seller was supposed to provide current service records for the furnace, heating system, and air conditioning system. The inspector also noted that there was a door to the laundry room, and it was supposed to be a door that's fire code compliant. So the listing agent says, yes it is, don't worry about it, we'll provide the documentation. So the inspector wanted documentation on that. There was also a certain GFCI electrical outlet in one of the bedrooms that wasn't functioning properly, so we needed confirmation on that. There were also a bunch of different items in the house like fireplace, sauna, washer and dryer, some of the lighting that we weren't able to test. So we wanted the seller to verify that they work. There are a bunch of other items like the seller had to replace certain burnt light bulbs and some of the light fixtures. Or there was a crack in the fixture or a portion of the fixture was missing. There was a problem with the basement handle door. It was missing, so they had to get that fixed. There was a stain on the office ceiling that looked like a water leak. So the seller needed to repaint that and needed to patch it up. And then on this luxury mansion, there is a nameplate at the front of the house with the seller's last name. So we needed that replaced. Like let's say the nameplate was Wong. The seller didn't want that Wong nameplate at the front of the house, so wanted it replaced with just a plain black one. So we ended up going through a deficiency walkthrough maybe about 7 days before completion date, and a lot of the things were fixed, but also a lot of the things were not fixed. But the seller, the listing agent was not there. The seller was there, and the seller said, don't worry, I'll take care of this, I'll fix this, I'll fix that. And on completion date, on possession date, when my clients got the keys, we noticed that certain things weren't there, and the seller was there, and he was like, don't worry, I ordered it, it's coming soon, I'll get that, blah blah blah. But it never came. I think he just made it up and said that the fixtures were ordered. Basically, his company had built the house. So we trusted him. We don't think he was lying. We know it was built in the house is structurally solid. The quality craftsmanship was top notch. So we thought surely he's going to fix this light fixture, or surely he's going to do this and do that. But unfortunately, he dropped the ball and he just ignored us. So the moral of the story is, should we have written up a holdback clause, which I mentioned in the previous video? Holdback clause, in this case, maybe about $3,000 or $4,000 of a holdback clause. Once again, this was in a market where it was quite strong. We didn't have the leverage where if it was a buyer's market, we could negotiate and say, well, if you're not going to sell it, if you're not going to agree to this holdback clause, then good luck selling it. However, during this time when my client bought it, it was a seller's market. His property was hot. There was another buyer buying down this property. we didn't have much choice. In fact, we had to pay more than what the seller was asking. And the seller was really stubborn, anal, very difficult to work with. Listing agent did the best he could, but it's the seller's responsibility, basically. So what could we have done next time? Holdback clause is nice, but as I mentioned to you, I always educate my clients. If the seller does not do what they promised to do, there's very little you can do about it. If the seller sells a home, promises to do a bunch of stuff, and then he doesn't, yes, you could start a lawsuit and sue the individual. However, if he takes off to China or India or Europe or wherever he's from, there's very little you can do. So I always make that as a caveat and warn my clients. I don't want them to be unexpected. Do they happen often where the seller screws the buyer over like that? No, it doesn't happen that often. I would say probably less than 5% of deals where the seller really just forgets or just doesn't do what they promised to do. Well, in this case, the seller did do a lot of the things listed in the home inspection deficiency report, just didn't do all of them. All right, so another story for you to watch out for and be aware of. Thanks again for watching. Gary Wong with GaryWongRealty.com. And until next time, in the next episode, in the next story, God bless you. Thanks guys for watching my video. Please subscribe and share with your friends. Email me if you have any more questions. Thank you.